Hello students, in the previous video I discussed rectilinear motion. Now today I am going to discuss few typical MCQs from this chapter. I am just going to show you how the basics are to be applied to such questions. Question number 1. The xt graph of a particle performing rectilinear motion is represented by a cubic curve, then it is a motion under. Now we have seen in the theory part that when xt graph is cubic, the corresponding vt graph is parabolic, and at graph is going to be a straight line, that is inclined line. So inclined line in at graph like this, inclined line in at graph, A is usually plotted along y-axis, T is to be plotted along x-axis, and at graph is going to be like this, which simply means that acceleration is not constant, it is changing with the change in time. So acceleration is variable, and that is why the correct option is option B. Question number 2. The Vt graph of a particle performing rectilinear motion is straight line, then it is a motion under. Now Vt graph is shown, so if I plot the Vt graph, it is like this. Vt graph is a straight line, it is like this. So AT graph is going to be a straight line parallel to x-axis. So as AT graph is parallel to x-axis, it means that it is a motion under constant acceleration, and that is why the correct option is option A. Question number 3. The AT graph of a particle performing rectilinear motion is a straight line parallel to x-axis. Then, so they have shown, or they have given, that the AT graph is a straight line parallel to x-axis. Then the four options are given. The first option is, it is the motion under constant acceleration. We can see that the acceleration is remaining constant, it is independent of time, and that is why the first option is correct. If we observe the second option, the velocity changes equal in magnitude in equal intervals of time. So the given graph is AT graph. If we plot VT graph, the VT graph is going to be an inclined line like this. So it simply means that velocity is changing, and the change in velocity is equal in magnitude in equal intervals of time, which simply indicates that option B is also a correct option. Now if VT graph is inclined line, XT graph is going to be a parabola, and that is why all the three options are correct. And for this question, the correct option is option D, that is all of the above options are correct. Question number 4. If v square is proportional to s, the acceleration of the particle is. Now v square is proportional to s, so which means v square is equal to k into s. So if I remove the proportionality sign and if I introduce equality sign, k will be introduced. So v square is equal to k into s, and differentiating with it with respect to s, we can get 2 into dv by ds into v is equal to k, and therefore v into dv by ds is equal to k by 2. V into dv by ds is nothing but the acceleration. So acceleration is equal to k by 2. K is a constant, 2 is a constant, and which means that acceleration is constant, and that is why the correct option is option B, that is uniform acceleration. Question number 5. A stone is thrown vertically upwards. It takes 25 seconds for its upward journey. The time required for its downward journey is. Now, when we consider this case, which is the motion under gravity, if any body is thrown vertically upwards, its velocity goes on decreasing, and it attains the zero velocity at the point of maximum height. Now this decrease in velocity is because of the gravitational acceleration. And in the second half, when the stone moves from the highest position to the initial position, the velocity goes on increasing, and it is again because of the gravitational acceleration, and which is in downward direction. So velocity decreases during the first half because of gravitational acceleration. It increases during the second half because of again the gravitational acceleration, and that is why the time required for both of these motions, that is for upward motion as well as for downward motion, is same, and that is why option A is the correct option. Question number 6. A particle experiences a constant acceleration for 20 seconds after starting from rest. It travels a distance s1 in the first 10 seconds and distance s2 in next 10 seconds. Then the four options are given. Now let us consider that a particle is starting from position A. Let A is this position. Then after 10 seconds it attains the position B, and after 10 more seconds let it be at position C. AB let it be S1, BC let it be S2, and the total distance from A to C is S. Now consider the motion AB. Now again they have given that the body or the particle is starting from rest, which simply means that initial velocity is 0. So considering the motion AB and using S is equal to ut plus half at square, we can get S1 is equal to ut, u is 0, so ut will be 0 plus half at square. A is not known, so let it be a 1 half into A into t square, first 10 seconds, so 10 square is 100, so it is 50 times A. S1 is equal to 50 times A. Now consider then the motion from A to C. Again, initial velocity at A is 0. The acceleration is remaining same. Again, if we use the same equation, S is equal to ut plus half at square. Total distance S is equal to ut is 0. Now plus 1 half at square. Acceleration is not known, but time is known for this motion from A to C, which is 20 seconds. 20 square is 400. Divided by 2, it will be 200 times A. So total distance S is 200A, AB is 50A, so S2 is equal to 150A. So S2 is equal to 3 times S1. Option C is the correct option. Question number 7. A particle located at x is equal to 0 at time t is equal to 0 starts moving along positive x direction with velocity v that varies as v is equal to a root x. The displacement of the particle varies with time as. Now they have given that v is equal to a into root of x. V is equal to a into root of x, which means dx by dt, dx divided by dt, v is nothing but dx by dt. This is equal to dx by dt is equal to a into root x, and therefore dx by dt, or therefore dx is equal to a into root of x into dt, separating the terms. And if I take it root x to the left hand side, dx divided by root x is equal to a into dt, a into dt. Now if we integrate it, 1 upon root x integration, so putting integration of dx upon root x is equal to integration of a into dt. Integration of 1 upon root x is 2 times root x, so it is 2 times root x is equal to a into integration of dt is a into t plus c is the constant of integration. Now again, in order to get the value of c, that is constant of integration, we will have to use the known conditions. At x is equal to 0, t is equal to 0. So if we substitute these two, we get c at 0, and therefore root x is equal to a by 2 into t, or x is equal to a by 2 into t square. This is the relation, and we can see that x, which is the displacement, it is proportional to t square, because a and 2 are constants, and which means that the displacement is proportional or varies as t square. Option A is the correct option. Question number 8. If Vx diagram is given, if Vx diagram is given, then acceleration is given by. Vx diagram means they are giving this diagram. V is plotted along y-axis, x is plotted along x-axis, and this is the Vx diagram. It may be having any shape like this. Now, slope of this Vx diagram is nothing but dv by dx. Slope is dv by dx, and we know that acceleration is v into dv by dx, and that is why the correct option is option C, that is product of velocity and slope, that is the acceleration. So option C is the correct option. Question number 9. If for a particle x is proportional to t square, if for a particle x is proportional to t square, then now the four options are given. Velocity is constant, acceleration is variable, none of these. Now x is proportional to t square means x is equal to k into t square. Now it indicates that it is a parabola. So it is a equation for parabola. So if the xt diagram is parabolic, vt diagram will be an inclined line, and xt diagram will be a line parallel to x-axis, and that is why the correct option for this question is option B, acceleration is constant. Two bodies of masses ma and mb are dropped from different heights a and b. The ratio of time taken by them to reach the ground is. Now here, as both the bodies are dropped from certain height, now body MA is dropped from height A and MB is dropped from height B, then we'll have to consider the motion of both the bodies as the motion under gravity. Initial velocity for both of these bodies is going to be zero because both the bodies are dropped. So using the equation S is equal to ut plus half at square, SA is equal to, that is displacement of A is equal to, u is 0, so it will be 1 half into g into ta square. Similarly, SB is equal to 1 half into g into tb square. SA is small a, SB is small b, so this is nothing but a, it is nothing but b. So a is equal to SA 1 half g into ta square, b is equal to SB, which is equal to 1 half g into tb square, and that is why ta upon tb is equal to root of a divided by root of b. Option A is the correct option. Now this is how you can use your basic knowledge of rectilinear motion to solve the MCQs like this. Now I suggest you all to go through some more examples on this particular chapter. In the next video, which we are going to upload, is about DC circuits, which is from Elements of Electrical Engineering. Please watch the next video to just build your concepts about the chapter DC circuits. Thanks.